Okay, today we're going to go over filling out the G-325R for Canadian snowbirds. This is to be filled out once you've crossed the border and are in the United States staying. So the first part it'll ask you to fill out is your full legal name, not a nickname. So you'll put your last name, your first name, and your middle name. For number 2, current physical address. For current physical address and current mailing address, you'll notice that you only have the option to provide a U.S. address. Remember, Form G-325R should be completed after you enter the U.S. So the address you should provide is the address where you'll be staying while you're in the United States, including how long you'll be staying there, not your Canadian address. So list the address you'll be staying while you're in the United States. That's the same for current mailing address, where you'll be getting mail while you're in the United States. For date of birth, you'll do your month, day, and year for your date of birth. For USCIS account number, if any, or alien registration number, if any. If you don't have these already, it probably doesn't apply to you. Most people won't have these, so you can just leave them blank. Number 7, all other names used. If you have a different last name, a maiden name, a different given name, you'll fill this section out here. If you don't have anything to put there, you can just leave that blank. For city or town of birth, you'll use your own city or town of birth, your country of birth, and your country of citizenship or nationality. For your prior residences, just listing any street name and number, city, province, or state, and your zip code, and where and when you lived in those places. So any place you've lived in the last 5 years, excluding your current physical address, you will list all of those in this section here. For your most recent entry into the U.S., this is going to be the date you last entered the United States. Again, remember, Form G-325R should be completed after you enter the U.S. So you should provide the date of your most recent entry. So if you entered yesterday, you would provide yesterday's date. 12B, the location at which you last entered the U.S. This would be the bridge, the airport, however you entered the U.S., those locations, you would put that here. For 12C, as a Canadian snowbird, your immigration status would be a B2 visitor for pleasure or tourism. So you would use B2 visitor for 12C. For 12D, you may not have this. It's okay to leave this blank if it doesn't apply to you or you don't know. Form I-94, same. Most people won't have this. If you don't already have one, you can just leave these blank. For 14, since entry, what activities have you been engaged in? If you're a snowbird and you're just on vacation or traveling, you can put vacationing, tourism, anything like that. Same goes for 15. In what activities do you intend to engage? Just vacationing, tourism, anything like that works. How long do you expect to remain in the United States for number 16? You can use that date range. So, if you're traveling around the winter, you would say January 1st through March 30 as an example. It should be 30 days or more. So just list the days that you expect to be in the United States. And then for 17, your expected date of departure. The next section will be information about your mother. So your mother's last name, your mother's given name, your mother's date of birth, and then her city or town, country, current residence, and current country of residence. So that'll all be about your mother. The next part will be information about your father. It's going to ask you those same questions, but about your father. So fill it out to the best of your ability, what you know about him. And then similarly, this next section will be about your spouse. So it will ask about your current husband or wife. Are you currently married? What their last name is, their given name, their date of birth, their place of birth, and then your place of marriage. So the city or town you were married in, state or province you were married in, country you were married in, and the date you got married. Biographic information will be pretty standard. You have 2 options to select, male or female. Ethnicity, select only one. And then race, select all the applicable boxes. So for height, there'll be feet and inches. Put your height in there, your weight in pounds, your eye color, make sure you select only one, and your hair color, same, select only one option there. The next part's going to get into your police and criminal record. You must answer yes to any question that applies to you, even if your records were sealed or otherwise cleared. The CDN pardons are not recognized by CBP, so you need to make sure you read this part pretty thoroughly and answer to the best of your ability and answer honestly. So this will be any sort of, have you pled guilty to it or been convicted of a crime? You would answer yes or no and then explain if you answered yes. This next part is just going to be a continuation. Have you ever violated or attempted to violate any controlled substance law? Yes or no, and then an explanation. The registrant's contact information, this is going to be your daytime telephone number, mobile number, and email address. This is where you're going to get most of your information, so make sure you use a number that you would be able to answer and an email address that you check, because if you're getting emails to an old email address that you no longer have access to, you might miss some important news. So make sure you're using a current email address and a current daytime telephone number. And then this is going to be your signature to make sure that you've agreed to everything. Everything is filled out to the best of your ability, the best of your legal understanding, and then put your date of signature. If you are having an interpreter fill this out for you, this is where you would put that interpreter's name, their last name, their first name, and then if they work as part of an organization or a business, what that organization or business is. And then the next page will be more of their contact information. So that interpreter's daytime phone number, their mobile phone number, and their email address. And then this is where they would signify that everything is completed correctly on their behalf. Similarly here, if someone is preparing this for you, the preparer's full name, their last name, their first name, and their business or organization, and then their daytime telephone number, mobile phone number, and email address. And then they would just certify that they had prepared this for you. If there are any sections where you needed a little bit more of additional space to fill out information or to give an explanation of conviction or anything like that, you would use this page to fill that out. So you would put which page number you had a question about or you needed to provide more information on, what part it was that you wanted to give more information on, and what item number it was, and then you could fill out more information here. So if you have a little bit more of an explanation, you wanted to go a little bit deeper into detail, you would use this page to fill out all that information. And that's really going to be the end of it. That is everything you need to do. Once that's submitted, you will have successfully filled out your Form G-325R.